Hi and hello, Dune Imperium fans. I hope all is well with you wherever you are in the world today, and welcome. This is Dune Imperium, and I am Admiral Trench. I'd like to try something new for this episode, if you will. This is episode 20 with a new thumbnail. I'm going to try that out for maybe 10 or 20 more thumbnails and see how that goes. Then I might change it up a little bit. Today, I will be doing another game of Kwisatz Haderach level difficulty. And to begin, since I started this channel, I've been keeping track of my record. I'm at 9 wins at Kwisatz Haderach level difficulty and 9 losses. So it's a 50-50 tie, my ratio here, win-loss ratio. I'm going to try to beat the game today one more time and see if I can get ahead. I feel like I've been chasing it this whole time. I've never really had a strong lead in wins. I did have a 2-game losing streak, then I had a 2-game winning streak, so it just seems to go that way. Anyways, let's get into the rules of how Kwisatz Haderach level difficulty works when you play against House Hagal, for those who may not know. I will begin the game with no resources whatsoever unless the character card says otherwise. In this case, I'm Helena Richis. So no, I don't start with any resources. However, at no time during the game will I be allowed to purchase a Swordmaster. The Mentat space costs me 5 Solari as opposed to the standard 2 Solari. House Hagal gets their Swordmaster at the start of the 3rd round. House Hagal starts with 1 water and 1 intrigue card each. If they manage to get 3 water, they spend them for a victory point. If they manage to get 3 intrigue cards, they spend them for a victory point. If they manage to get 7 Solari, they spend them for a victory point. And so long as I play with the Rise of Ix expansion, they will hoard spice to buy tech tiles, which, oh no, I got ahead of myself. I didn't shuffle the tech tiles. Let me do that really quick. And it's worth mentioning, so long as I'm discussing the planet Ix, that today Dune Imperium just came out with a Rise of Ix expansion. And so everyone's talking about that game now, which I've been playing for some time. So I hope that if you're following along with this channel, maybe you'll pick up a trick or two. House Hagal never reaches the 3rd tier on the Chum track. Instead, they go to the 2nd tier and then they descend their tracker all the way down and they collect all those resources and they opt for the Solari instead of the spice here and here because they would collect 8 Solari. 7 of that is used to buy a victory point. So using the Chum track for House Hagal is especially deadly. Be on the lookout. Okay. Now today I'm not going to be using my LEDs. I didn't really want to do that today for some reason. I just sort of wanted to see what a game would look like without the LEDs. Now I kind of already know what that would look like because I've played it before, but I just figured, why not? It's game 20. Let's start fresh and new. Try something different that I haven't really experimented too much with yet. All right, so the tech tiles are out. Today we'll be playing against Countess Ariana Thorvald and Earl Memnon Thorvald, the 2 Thorvalds. So I'll have to call them by their first name or by their titles, Countess and Earl. And I will begin this game. So let's get right into it. I'd like to ask everyone to please like and subscribe to this channel and share with all your board gaming friends, anybody you think would like this. Yeah, I really have a lot of high hopes for this channel, and I've been saving a lot of money so I can buy a computer. When that happens, the quality of this channel is going to increase exponentially. I assure you, it's just a matter of time. When I get that computer, I will be able to make edited content, high definition quality, video quality. Everything's going to look better. I'm really excited for it. Goodness, I really didn't clean up this board very well before I got into this game, so I apologize for that. Let me just do one quick scan. All right, I did everything. Yes, okay, everything looks to be what it's supposed to be. I just got a little too far ahead of myself. I didn't get the tech tiles out. I didn't put the High Council seat back where I had it last game. So now we are officially ready to get into this game. All right, let's reveal the first conflict. Skirmish. All right, now before we get into this first conflict, let me just read out the Imperium row. Then I'll read the Twi'lexu row. Then I'll read the Planet X textiles. Here we go. All the way over here in the Imperium row, we have the Arrakis Recruiter for 2 persuasion. It lets you go to blue spaces, and you get 1 troop added to your garrison on an agent phase. It gives you 1 persuasion and 1 combat point on the reveal. Power play for 5 persuasion. You can go to any of the factions you want on the left-hand side of the board, and you move your influence tracker 2 spaces up instead of just 1 when you trash the card. Dissecting Kit. It's a 2 persuasion card that's also a grafting card. Let's go to green and blue spaces, trash the other grafted card to get a specimen to the Axolotl tank. It gives you 1 persuasion, and if you have a genetic marker, you can move your Twi'lexu tracker forward 1 space. Jamis for 2 persuasion. It's a Fremen card that lets you go to Fremen spaces, and it has the icon that lets you share Fremen spaces with other agents, and it lets you trash a card on an agent phase. It gives you 1 persuasion and 2 combat points on the reveal. Twi'lexu Surgeon for 3 persuasion. It lets you go to Emperor spaces and blue spaces, and if you spend 2 specimen, you can move your Twi'lexu tracker forward 2 spaces. It gives you 2 persuasion, and if you lose 2 troops, you can add 2 troops to your Axolotl tank. Right on, that's a pretty interesting card, actually. Twi'lexu Row, Face Dancer Initiate for 1 specimen. It's a grafting card that lets you go to Emperor, Spacing Guild, and Fremen spaces. It lets you get 1 persuasion on the reveal. Subject X-137 for 2 specimen. It lets you move your Twi'lexu tracker when you purchase the card. It lets you go to green and yellow spaces, and so long as you have 1 genetic marker, that's if you reach this length on the board, you can move your Twi'lexu tracker forward 1 space. It gives you 1 persuasion on the reveal. Let's go down to the bottom right-hand corner where Planet X is located, where we will see the tech tiles. We're going to start at the very top. That's Wind Traps here for 2 spice. It lets you get a water upon purchase, and when you win a conflict, you get a water. Restricted Ordnance for 4 spice. On your reveal turn, if you have a seat on the High Council, you get 4 combat points. Spaceport. That's 5 spice, and when you purchase the tech tile, you get to draw 2 cards. You may put cards you require on top of your deck. All right, everyone, let's get into this. This is the first round. It's a skirmish in the first round, so first place is going to get to move a faction tracker up 1 and collect 1 spice. Second place will get 2 spice. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's do this. I'm really excited. Of all the Imperium Row cards, I'm not going to lie, the card that looks the most interesting is the Twi'lexu Surgeon. I've never utilized that card before. It just looks really cool because, yeah. Oh, and with Dissecting Kit, it's just that it's a grafting card. But look, all the opportunities that are there to add specimen to the Axolotl tank. I don't see myself, like, the thing that I'm looking at here is I'm going, yes, I see the possibilities with those 2 cards. If I was playing a normal game against people, those might be things I'd consider. Obviously, power play is a must. You've got to get that card. But I'm just making the point that, like, yeah, if I was going to play around with fun ideas, I would definitely do Dissecting Kit and Twi'lexu Surgeon. The problem is I'm playing House of Gaul, and grafting, never really a good idea. It just never pans out. You don't really have very many opportunities at this difficulty to waste cards, grafting. It's just a waste of card, in all seriousness. Everything must be perfectly utilized to keep your synergy going. Now, Twi'lexu Surgeon, it is an interesting card, but how frequently are you putting specimen in the Axolotl tank to move that Twi'lexu track for only a mere 2 victory points? It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying here. I just don't know how you would. I just don't know how that would pan out. I am admitting, though, it looks like a lot of fun and a lot of interest. I am interested in it. I just cannot see myself making it work. So the responsible move is to buy power play ASAP and Arrakis Recruiter, believe it or not, when you play Dune Digital, I've had some luck with that card. It's probably the best, cheapest card in the game, if that makes sense. Like, you could do some cool stuff with that card, especially since I'm Helena Ricci's, because I can go to blue spaces and share those spaces with enemy agents. So yeah, I could generate troops and push more troops into combat with Arrakis Recruiter. So I actually think I would buy that card. Let's get into this game, shall we? To begin, I've got reconnaissance, experimentation, seek allies. Oh, goodness. Dagger and diplomacy. Yikes. This is zip, 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 not the best hand. So let's see here. If I go... It's not the best hand, in all seriousness. Yeesh. Okay, I do like to do this. I tend to start by using experiment. Whoops, I got to put my deck on this side of the House of Gold stack. Sorry. Okay, I like to put experimentation down, and I go to smuggling. I collect one Solari, think, and I move my Chome tracker up one. And because I used my experimentation, I get to put... No, I don't get to put a specimen in the Oxalotl tank. I move my researcher tracker up one, and that lets me put a specimen in the Oxalotl tank. Get in there, you specimen, you. Okay, now we're going to go to Countess Ariana Tharavold, who does what with her first turn? She's going to get right into this combat, taking Arrakeen. She gets to generate a troop, and she pushes 2 troops into the combat and utilizes the Signet Ring ability. She earns a water. Again, she gets a victory point every 3 water, so she's 1 away from a victory point, and she's sitting right now at 6 combat points. She's really looking to get this victory. Now we're going to move to Earl Memnon Thorvald. Hayliner. I can never really tell how it's pronounced. Hayliner, tomato. That's a devastating play right out of the gates. So that's 3 troops plus 2. Holy geez, this dude is definitely going to try to take this victory. Wow. Okay, so he's sitting at 10 total combat with 5 troops in this mix. That's devastating. I will say, I've said this many times, when you play House of Gaul, especially at this difficulty, do not get into combat in the first 2 rounds until their troops have dissolved out of their garrisons. It's way too deadly. I mean, look at this. Just for this minuscule rewards in the first round, like, who would do that? Who would do that? If you know this game well enough, you know this is not enough to lose these precious troops over. Let them whittle themselves down. Let them throw all their troops into this. The auto fighting in this game has a lot of ranged results, so it does keep it challenging and difficult. So as soon as you think their garrisons are empty, doesn't always work that way. Sometimes Hayliner comes up and they throw in a bunch of stuff. You never know what's going to happen, but I am just saying that looking at their garrisons, it's always a good way to judge what's going to happen. You know, that's a good way to know if it's worth getting involved in the combat. Okay, so let me get into my next turn, and no matter what I do, there's no way I will be able to afford any card out of the Imperium row, and that is devastating. So the answer, I think, is this. I haven't got any convincing argument cards in my hand. So if I use reconnaissance and I was just going to say I can go to Arrakeen and draw a card, but I was going to say, I can't do that. He's already there. She's already there, I should say. Thorvald's already there. But I'm Helena Ricci's. I get to do whatever I want. I can go to those spaces if I decide. So yeah, I'm going to use reconnaissance, go to Arrakeen, and draw, hopefully, a convincing argument. And maybe I will buy Twi'lek Surgeon. I'll have 3 persuasion by then. So yeah, actually looks interesting, because I could still go to blue spaces with that card, put 2 specimen in there, move my Twi'lek tracker. Maybe that is the right move. Maybe that's the right move. I think I will do that. So if I could get a convincing argument, and there's no promises or guarantees, here I go. I get to generate a troop, and I can push into this combat if I want, but of course I don't, because I am not on a annihilation mission, a self-annihilation mission. I did not get a convincing argument. I kind of feel stupid because I should have known that the odds were. I was thinking I had 2 out of, out of 5 cards. I felt like the odds were in my favor, but I mean, how devastating would it have been if I had pulled a dagger? Ugh. Anyway, I do have enough for Arrakis Recruiter, so that's good. And yeah, I won't be getting mixed up into this combat. Let's see what happens next. We go to Carthag for Ariana Thorvald, and she gets a troop added to her garrison, and she pushes these 2 into combat. Oh my goodness, this is like, they are going all out. She moves her Twi'lexu tracker forward 1 with the Carthag card, and we're going to move forward to Thorvald. It's anyone's game now. Let's see what he does. Cannot harvest spice. There's no bonus spice on the board. Research station. That's enough for him to win this combat, I do believe. He gets to push his tracker forward 2. He gets an intrigue card. That puts him 1 away from getting a victory point in terms of spending those on a victory point. He has 3 intrigue cards for a victory point. He gets to push in his last troop, so that gives him 2 more combat points, putting him at 12. He goes to me for my reveal turn. I get to add a specimen to the Oxalotl tank because of my experimentation, so that's 2 specimen in that Oxalotl tank. Very, very good. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. What do I do? If I had combat, I would obviously move my job. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about other things right now, so I apologize. I was going to buy a Arrakis Recruiter. I feel like that's a in this early game, I feel like that's a good card because I could generate troops. I could get into this combat with that card with Elena Ricci. Oh, Chum Directorship. That's okay. A lot of people love the Kwisatz Haderach card. There's a lot of cards to love in this game, and I've come to appreciate many of them. Some of them are my newfound favorites, but nothing compares to Chum Directorship in this person's opinion, in my opinion, because when you're playing Dune Imperium Digital, for me, there is nothing more satisfying than buying Chum Directorship and listening to the sound of those victory points registering, especially when you've already got a few of these things going, and it's just like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching all at once, and you're like, oh, that is so sweet. I love that. Aside from that, though, the card is kind of meh, a little boring, but Power Play is kind of like a diet Chum Directorship. But then there's this other card called, I do believe it's called Treachery, which is slightly better than Power Play because it gives you troops and it has the unloadability, but it does exactly the same thing as Power Play. That's a better card, but it costs, I think, 6 persuasion as opposed to 5. Anyways, we're getting way off track here. I just wanted to tell you that Chum Directorship has entered the Imperium row, and that is my favorite card of the game. And it's very unlikely I'll be able to purchase that, and there's still a chance the card could get rolled out of the Imperium row in the first, at the end of the first turn, so who knows what's going to happen. What was I gonna do? Combat, that's right. So we've moved from Agent Phase 1 to 2 to my reveal phase. Now we're in combat. I should be keeping track of my agent phases over here, and I'm doing a terrible job of that, and I apologize. All right. So let's do that, and we're getting into combat. Now, Earl, he sits at 12 combat points with 6 troops in the conflict. Countess Ariana, she sits at 10 troops in this conflict. I beg your pardon, 10 points in this conflict with 5 troops in the mix. How does Ariana respond? It is not enough no matter what she does. There's nothing that Earl can do. I'm sorry, that she could do to beat Earl, even though he just blanked out, if you can believe it. That's pretty incredible. So that was a very close combat. It ended at 11-12. So the win goes to Earl, who is going to push. I'm going to give him the Spacing Guild one so he gets a victory point. And he gets 1 spice. Ariana gets 2 spice. And that is it. Look at that. They are all out of troops. Now that the winnings have been resolved, we get to put spice on the board. All the desert spaces get spice. The Great Flat, Haga Basin, and the Imperial Basin. Here we go. And we're going to go put all the troops back to their respective supplies. Right. And I'm going to put all the agents back to their respective supplies. Great. We're going to go into the second round now. Conflict here is raid stockpiles. First place is going to get an intrigue card and 3 spice. Second place is going to get 2 spice, and this is anyone's game for the taking. There are no troops in either of their 2 garrisons. That's happened the last 2 games. I do believe so, if I'm not mistaken. So, usually they still have troops by the 3rd round, but, you know, they're playing fast and loose with their agents and troops. So, it goes to Ariana Countess Thorvald. She's the Countess, I should say. And what does she want to do? She's going to harvest spice. If she had troops to add to this conflict, she most certainly would. I'm going to give her 5. I'm going to take 1 of her spice and just give her a 5. So she ends up with the same as she would have had. And Thorvald, the other one, he takes wealth. He moves this guy here, pushes his tracker up 1. Now it's my turn. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I'm going to shuffle my discard pile. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. I'm going to draw a card. Here we go. Aha! So there's those 2 convincing arguments I said. So it was literally the next card I was going to draw. So darn it, went away. Could have been able to be in a completely different game by now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm sitting at the beginning of this round with 6 persuasion. And it's the very second round. So I could get Chom and High Council right out of the gates. I will use Experimentation first agent, then Dagger second agent. Yeah, let's do that. And right, so experiment. Ooh, and then I'll have 3 specimen in the Oxalotl tank, I think. No. I can move my Twilaxu tracker forward 1 because I like to go in the downward motion on this track. Some people like to go forward like this, but I go this way. I like having these options over here. So yeah, experimentation. I'm going to get that Solari, that sweet, delicious Solari. Not quite as good as Spice, but I move my Chom tracker in the downward position. I take 8 Solari. That is enough for me to have 10 Solari, so I'll just take back 2 and give myself 2 5s. That's 10 total Solari that I have. That's my first agent, so let's get over to... Gosh, I gotta move this tracker. We're in agent phase 2 now. Ariana Thorvald, what do you want to do? Still suits. Is that right? That's what you want to do? You're going to go to still suits, move your tracker up 1. By the way, I forgot to mention, the last game, I can't believe I did this to myself. I put an agent on Hardy Warriors. I spent the water. I put the troops into combat. I didn't move my tracker. Now, it ended up not mattering. I still won that game. By the skin of my teeth, I still won that game. But the whole time I noticed that I had made that little mistake. And another thing I did another stupid little mistake, but that had almost nothing to do with anything. I forgot to put a specimen in the Oxalotl tank last game too. So I made two mistakes that I feel like are kind of big. I forgot to move this tracker, and that could have changed everything about the game. I did a stupid mistake. And I forgot to put a specimen in the Oxalotl tank, but actually that had nothing to do with anything. It didn't make a difference, but still, I was hitting myself when I was watching. I was like, I can't believe I made that silly mistake. Okay, so if Ariana had troops, she would push them into combat right now, but she doesn't because she used them all last turn. So we're going to go to Earl. He's going to harvest. Goodness gracious, they don't have troops. They've got to be. He's going to get 3 spice. 3 spice. Goes to the Earl. I could get into this combat right now and win it. But I'm not gonna because I was gonna use Dagger to take High Council. But I'm looking at this. I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. Let me think this through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. Oh, no. I wouldn't have enough for Chome Directorship. I was going to say I could use Signet Ring, and that's going to give me 6. Not enough for... I was going to say I could use Signet Ring, and I could... Oh, and I never rolled the Imperium Road dice. I knew I was forgetting something. 3 and 4. Jamis and Dissecting Kit are gone. I was like, at the end of the last round, I forgot to do something. Oh, Gurney Halleck. Oh, I have enough for Gurney Halleck. Webs of Power. Oh, dude. Okay. I have enough for Gurney, so I will do that. Well, wait a minute now. Hold on a minute. Whoa. If I use Dagger, that would be enough for 7, but I don't have I wouldn't be able to use my Signet Ring ability. Doi. I'm being really dumb right now. I'm overthinking it. I'm just like really wanting that Chome Directorship, but it's just not going to happen. So Signet Ring, High Council, by Gurney Halleck. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I could do that. Signet Ring. Yeah, I like it. We could do that. Signet Ring. Here we go. High Council. I spend 5 Solari. I get my High Council. That moves me up to 6 Persuasion. And I have 1. I'm not going to get into this combat, but I will take Gurney. I'll put Gurney aside. Web of Power, by the way, is... Oh my god, Firm Grip is also good. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Which one is better? I think Web of Power is better than Firm Grip in all seriousness. Only because the reveal phase doesn't work for Firm Grip unless you have the Alliance coin, and that's difficult to achieve, especially since I hate going to the Emperor spaces. Yeah. Web of Power, unless I can get Power Play or Chome Directorship somehow. Anyway, so this card will sit here. And yes, I feel good about this. We are going to move from my second agent phase to the reveal phase. What do we have? I'm buying Halleck for 6. So we'll go to the card pile. And that's it. I'm not into this. I'm not in this combat. I am not in this combat. So what am I doing? I guess there's nobody involved in this combat. So that's a wrap. We're getting back to Agent Phase 1. Nobody wins anything this combat. I don't know if I've ever done something like that. This is a good one. This is going to be starting off at 2. All right, we're getting into the second round, and I think it's worth mentioning that Earl Memnon Thorvald is in first place with 1 victory point. We're off to an interesting start this game. I have a lot of really cool options in the Imperium row, and I don't know what I want. I'm kind of spoiled with choices right now. So, okay. It is the beginning of the third round. It gets more deadly, more bloodthirsty. I've almost made that mistake. I did that last game where I like moved agents in the wrong places. But yeah, they get their third agent, their swordmaster, in this next round. We're in the third round. We're doing machinations, which is first place gets to move 2 faction trackers up 1. Second place gets water and 2 Solari. And I always love fighting for this. It's my this is actually my favorite conflict to fight for, because I don't know, like I feel like it's all because of Dune Digital. When you feel those faction trackers moving and you get those sweet, delicious victory points off of them, it's so satisfying. So I can't help myself. I do everything I can to get involved in combat whenever this conflict arises. Anyways, let's get over to Earl Memnon Thorvald. What does he want to do? Oh, that's right. These 2 spaces were occupied, so Imperial Basin gets a spice. I forgot to do that. We gotta roll the Imperium Row dice. Oh no, CHOAM Directorship is gone. No, I really wanted that card. And say goodbye, Firm Grip. You're also out of here. So here we go. Planned coupling and Sardaukar Legion. Okay, great. Oh, you know what? I never read the other cards, so I feel really terrible. I should have done that. Sardaukar Legion is a 5 persuasion card and an Emperor card that lets you go to Emperor spaces and green spaces. It gives you 2 troops to your garrison on an agent phase. It gives you 1 persuasion, and you get to deploy up to 3 troops from your garrison to the conflict on the reveal phase. And then we have planned coupling. That's a 3 persuasion card. It's a Bene Gesserit card that lets you graft and go to Bene Gesserit spaces. You get to draw a card on an agent phase, and you get 1 persuasion on a reveal. And because I didn't read the card yet, let me do it now. Web of Power is a 4 persuasion card and a Bene Gesserit card that lets you go to Bene Gesserit spaces. You get to share those spaces with other agents because it has the share agent icon on the left-hand side of the symbol. It says, if you have 2 influence with the Emperor track, the Spacing Guild, or the Fremen, if you have it with the Emperor track, you get 2 Solari. If you have it with the Spacing Guild, you get to draw a card. If you have it with the Fremen, you get a water. And it gives you 1 faction movement and 1 persuasion on the reveal. Yeah, and so Web of Power is extremely dangerous. It's a very good card. So yeah, what was I doing? Here we go. We're going to begin with Earl Memnon Thorvald, who takes tech negotiation. Right over here. Does he have enough for something? Oh, yes, he does. He's going to spend 2 spice. He's going to buy wind traps, and when he does that, he gets a water. And for every conflict he wins, by the way, he gets a water moving forward. That's a nice buy. But now it's going to go to my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Here we go. So I feel like I got to take this battle. Got to win. Got to take it. Yes. I've got a lot of troops here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 persuasion. 3. So I'm at 5 persuasion because I have the High Council. You know what I never did? Did I? No, I didn't. I don't think, no, I did not. I did not do that. So I never used, when I used my experimentation, I never moved my ink over here and moved my, so I'm doing that now. Sorry, just because I remembered, and I'm like, I normally will bite the bullet and take my lumps and just not move it because I forgot to take it, but I'm remembering now, and it doesn't really set anything back. Nothing has really been revealed, or it doesn't hurt the game if I just like quickly adjust that now. I'm just letting everybody know that what happened was when I used my experimentation to get the Solari out of the CHOAM tracker, I forgot to move my research token forward, and then forgot to utilize the Twi'lexu tracker icon here. So that's all I did. I was just sort of setting myself back up where I'm supposed to be. So if I use the Arrakis Recruiter and go to, say, let's see here, what would I want to buy? I want to buy Power Play and Web of Power. So I need to have, I have 5 persuasion now. So if I use Arrakis Recruiter, go to Arrakeen, the other daggers in there, so I would be able to get my persuasion back. I could get Web of Power that away. Yeah, I will do that. I think that's the smarter move. No, no, no. I will take Carthag. I don't know. No, 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 no. I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Arrakis Recruiter to Arrakeen. I'm just doing it. Taking an agent, putting it here. I get to put 3 more agents in. That's going to put me at 6 combat. So I have 3 troops in the conflict in the beginning of the first agent phase of round 3. And, because of that, I get to generate another troop because of Arrakis Recruiter. So I'm actually sitting at 8 total combat. I feel like this is going to be my win. There's no doubt about it. I still have 2 troops. I got to get this wording right. Agents, troops. Oh my God, please, somebody slap me. I need to wake up. I had it right the first time, didn't I? I'm getting a little tongue-tied, sorry. Now we're going to get to Countess Ariana. Did I even draw a card? I didn't. Let's draw the last card. Reconnaissance. I need to use Seek Allies to take a fold space, and I need to keep my diplomacy for the persuasion. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 5. Yes. I'll use Seek Allies to take a fold space. All right. Ooh, and I can get a Mentat somewhere down the road too because I have 5 additional Solari, so that's pretty nice. All right, Countess Ariana Thorwald, what do you want to do? Interstellar shipping, which you cannot do because you don't have 2 persuasion, 2 influence with the Spacing Guild, but you do get a Dreadnought. Be on the lookout for her. She's got her first Dreadnought, and does she have enough money? She has enough spice to buy a tech tile. This one does not have the House Hagal icon on it, neither does this, but that one does, so she's going to spend 2 spice out of the 5. She's going to get 3 spice back. And she gets to move a faction tracker up 1 when she purchases this tech tile. And at the end of the game, if she has 3 influence or more on all 4 influence tracks, she will get a victory point. Good for her. Now let's move one of her faction trackers up 1. She's green. I'll give her this one for the victory point. That's going to put her tied for first. And then it's going to go to Earl Memnon Thorvald, who will take tech negotiation, and he can't do that because he's already got a guy there. Okay, wow. He will take fold space. Goodness, there goes my fold space. That's what I wanted to do. And he's 1 movement away from getting the Alliance coin out of the Spacing Guild. Can you believe it? And actually, I'm sorry. No. He doesn't take fold space. Bink, putting that back. He actually goes to interstellar shipping because he already has 2 persuasion, 2 influence, not persuasion, with the Spacing Guild over here. So let me move his Chum Chucker up 2. That's not good. That's really close to getting a victory point and a ton of other nice things. Now it's going to go to me. This is Agent Phase 2, by the way. I was going to take Seek Allies, trash it out, and take a fold space. Move my tracker up 1, get fold space. Okay. Yeah, that gives me 5 persuasion, which is enough for power play. Nice. I like that. Or do I want Web of Power? Ooh, that's a hard one to decide. Oh my gosh, that's a really tough one to decide. I'm going to just hope Web of Power is there later. That's what I'm going to do. So anyways, let's get over to Countess Ariana Thorvald. So far, ooh, Hardy Warriors. Finally, someone's going to get involved in this combat. Hardy Warriors. She's 1 away from the Alliance coin now, too. She gets to put 2 troops. Ooh, she's got her Dreadnought as well. Oh, no. So she puts that in plus her 2 troops. That's going to put her at 5 and 7. She's at 7 combat points, and she still has 1 agent left, too. She could overtake me. I am not happy with that at all. Now we're going to get into the 3rd agent phase with Memnon Thorvald, who cannot take a Dreadnought. He cannot take Arrakeen. He can go to selective breeding, and he moves his Benny Gesserit tracker 1. It's going to be my reveal phase now. I get to put a specimen in the Axolotl tank because of my experimentation card. I get to move my combat tracker from 8 to 9. That barely makes me feel good. And gosh, I really wish now I had gone to Carthag for an intrigue card. Oh goodness. But I'm going to spend all 3. Oh, I could get an intrigue card now. I'm going to spend all 3 of my troops in the specimen in the Axolotl tank to move my tracker forward 1, which I get an intrigue card at this spot. So it's an ambush if I have to use it. I hope I don't. It's a very early game. I don't want to have to do that. And I have 5 persuasion. Power play. I'll just take the power play. I feel like I want Web of Power. It's a funner card, but I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope it's there later. It's a very good card. Getting that faction tracker movement going is really good. Let's see here. That's it. That's all I can do. Now we're going to go to... That was my reveal phase, by the way. So I'm moving the tracker down. Now I'm putting it back to Agent Phase 3. God, I'm terrible. Oh my gosh, this Imperial Basin is wide open. I got to take the spice. Countess, what do you want to do? You're going to conspire. Thank you. Whoosh. No, I don't have to worry about you getting any more troops, but your tracker moves up 1, and you get 2 troops added to your garrison where they await further orders. So, all right, getting into this combat phase, I just want to let everybody know this is the 3rd round, combat phase. Ariana, she is at 7 combat points with 1 dreadnought and 2 troops. And I am at 9 combat points with 4 troops. So, Ariana, how do you want to... Oh, goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4. That stinks. She beat me, and I really want this, so I'm going to take ambush and use it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just really sad I had to use my ambush card. I didn't want to, but I win first place. So, yay, happy days. Now, what do I want to move? I want to move my Emperor tracker up 1, and I want to move my Benny Gesserit tracker up 1, because I hate going to Emperor spaces and Benny Gesserit. Like, Emperor is my least favorite 2 spaces on the board, and then Benny Gesserit is my second least favorite. Like, my second, yeah. It goes, Spacing Guild is my favorite because of Hayliner. Fremen is my second, Benny Gesserit, then Emperor. So I always try to move this tracker out of the way so I don't have to go to those spaces if I can avoid it. And just yucky. Okay, so the combat has been resolved, except I still have to give 1 water. Ooh, she just got a victory point. All right. She's at 2 victory points now. She's spending 3 waters, and she gets 2 Solari as well. Okay, all right. Good for you, Ariana. Good for you. Here's your 2 Solari. And it is time now. She's going to put her Dreadnought at the Imperial Basin. We're going to put the combat trackers back. All troops go back to their respective supplies. I don't think I want to nuke out the Imperium Row until I get to buy Web of Power. And I get to start this next round. I'm going to roll the Imperium Row dice. 5 and 5. Okay, Twi'leksu Surgeon is gone. Goodbye, Twi'leksu Surgeon. All the good cards are gone. Benny Twi'lek's Lab is a 2 persuasion card that lets you get a blue and yellow spaces, and you get to add a... See, look at that. If I had... I mean, you get to add a specimen to the Axolotl tank on an agent phase, and it gives you 1 persuasion, and if you have 1 genetic marker, you get 1 spice on the reveal. So I'm just looking at this going like, could you imagine if I had Twi'lek... Like, in a normal game, if I was playing against other people... Dissecting Kid, Twi'leksu Surgeon, and Benny Twi'lek's Lab. That would be a lot of fun with specimens, right? That would be a lot of fun. I would be putting specimens in tanks like it's going out of style. Like I'm on the planet X. I get to start this next round. So let's do that. I have to put my play area discard pile into my actual discard pile. I'm going to move forward to Round 4, where I begin. This is the Siege of Carthag. No one has a flag on Carthag. It's almost anyone's game because there's only 2 troops in my garrison and in Ariana's. I'm going to put all of these agents back to their respective supplies. Here we go. And yes. And I feel like I'm missing one. There it is. All right. I get to begin. Let me just shuffle this up real good, if you don't mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards in my discard pile. That's my entire deck. Has 13 cards. I like to give it a couple shuffles here. I have Gurney Halleck. I love that card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. What are we sitting with? Alrighty then. Here we go. Web of Power is what I want. So I'm sitting at, I begin with 2 plus this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm at actually 9 persuasion right now. I'll put convincing argument in the back. I've got a experimentation, signet ring, 2 convincing arguments, and Arrakis recruiter. So yeah, righteous. Totally nice. But what do I want to do? So that's the question, isn't it? The right answer, of course, as always, is to... Yep, that's what I want to do. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not going to have to worry about having enough persuasion, that's for sure. I could buy Web of Power and then be happy. The right movement is to use experimentation to take... Oh, I never... Did I? I don't think I put spice out. Oh no, I'm so awful. I totally didn't. Let me see. Did these guys ever take any... Nope, they never did. They never did. So good. So every one of these desert spaces gets a spice. How terrible am I for forgetting that? I normally don't. I guess, you know what the problem is? When I was starting this channel, I was very much like, look at my list of things to do after every round, make sure I do it right. And then as I've gotten into the rhythm, I've become more like good about doing stuff. And then I've kind of begun to trust myself a little too much. And I need to just go back to reading my list and making sure I do everything correctly. So, okay, let's get into this. Experimentation is going to be used. I'm going to put my agent at the Imperial Basin. So 1 spice is going to go to Ariana Thorvald because she has her dreadnought there, but I am going to get 4 spice. And I can push troops into this combat, which of course I think I will. And that's going to put me at 4 combat points. Then I'm probably going to use Arrakis Recruiter to take Carthag. Yes. All right, anyways, let's get over... This is Agent Phase 1. Countess, what do you want to do? You're going to go to Carthag. And you're going to generate a troop to your garrison, push them all in. It's going to put you at 6 total combat points. You're moving your Twi'leksu tracker forward 1, and you're going to get your 2nd intrigue card of the game, and then you're going to destroy the Face Dancer Initiate out of the Twi'leksu row, and you will reveal the Stitched Horror for 3 specimen. It's a grafting card that lets you get up blue spaces. You get to choose 2, a water, a troop, trash a card, or Twi'leksu tracker movement, and it gives you 1 persuasion and a combat on the reveal. It's a very good card. It's just a little too late in the game right now to consider buying it and using it. It wouldn't be used very effectively. And so there you have it. That's Ariana Thorvald's first turn. Now let's get over to Earl Thorvald, who he has not generated any troops. He takes the Great Flat. He gets himself 4 spice. I'll just gets 4 spice. So I'll take away 1 of his spice and give him a 5 spice counter. And that's that for him. He's still not involved in combat. Now we're going to get into Agent Phase 2. And I want to attempt to beat Ariana. I feel like this is silly, but what else am I going to do? Yeah, Arrakis Recruiter to Carthag, and I will generate 2 troops with that movement and get an intrigue card. So I'll push these in. That's going to put me at 8 combat points, and I get an intrigue card. Oh, gosh. Darn it. It's not what I wanted. That stinks. That's okay, because I have 5 Solari now, so I'm 2 away from a victory point with this. I'll just put that on the side. And yeah, let's get over to Countess Ariana Thorvald, who will harvest spice with her second agent. She gets 3 spice. Goodness gracious. I can't believe this. I just really have to hope that I can still win this combat. I don't know how I'm gonna, but Earl Memnon Thorvald will take selective breeding, and this is the second time he's gone to the Bene Gesserit track, so he gets a victory point. It's going to go to my turn. This is the 3rd agent phase, by the way, and I have 2, 4, 6, 7 total persuasion. I'll just move my tracker here because I've got the signet ring, 2, 4, 6 high council. With 7 persuasion, I do want to buy Web of Power and cross my fingers. That's 4 out of 7, so I have 3 persuasion left. There's really nothing else I want. Let's see here. The Imperial Shock Trooper is a 3 persuasion card, and it's an Emperor card. It does nothing on an agent phase. However, it gives you 1 persuasion plus 2 combat points on a reveal. But if you have an agent on an Emperor board space, you get an additional 3 combat points. Kind of cool. It's only good for revealing, so not very good for me. And we're going to get into the 3rd agent phase with Countess Ariana Thorvald, who is going to go to smuggling. She moves her agent up, or Chome Tracker up 1. Earl Memnon Thorvald, you will take Conspire, and this is the 2nd time you have gone to the Emperor track, so you just got another victory point. And you get to put 2 troops into your garrison. Finally, you got some troops you can get involved in combat. And now we're going to do combat. So it's between me and Countess Ariana yet again. And I am sitting with 4 troops in this conflict, and I have 8 combat points. Ariana has 3 troops in this conflict, and she has 6 combat points. And I win the combat. She just got a fold space, only moving up forward 1. So I get a victory point. Finally, I'm out of the 0 position. I'm still in last place, but I have 1 victory point, and I get to put a flag on Carthag. Awesome. Totally super rad. But Ariana gets a victory point as well. She gets 1 spice, and she earns herself an intrigue card. So here's 2 here, and she takes Know Their Ways. Anyways, doesn't matter. She got 3 intrigue cards, and she spent them and got herself a victory point. She's tied for first with 3 victory points. The 2 Thorvalds are tied with each other. So finally, what I got to do is look at all the agents. There's no spice to put on the board. Ariana will put her Dreadnought back here. And I will put combat trackers back. I will put all troops back to their respective supplies. At the beginning of the next round, I'm going to nuke out the row. Did I use, oh my god, how stupid am I? When I used my experimentation, yet again, I forgot to move my tracker, so I'm putting this forward one and putting a specimen in the Oxalate tank. I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys. Doing it now because I used my experimentation as the first card. That's where I went here. I just forgot to do it, so I apologize yet again. I got to keep track of what I'm supposed to be doing. But don't worry, everything's accounted for. Everything's being done correctly. We're up to speed. Everything's good. Yeah, so let's talk about what the next thing to do is. Roll the Imperium Row dice. 6 and 2. ignore sixes. The Minishnaria Protectiva is gone. We reveal For Humanity. Gosh, these are such good cards, but my deck is so full of cards now. For Humanity is a 7 persuasion card that is a Bene Gesserit card that lets you go to Bene Gesserit spaces, green and yellow spaces, and lets you move a faction tracker up 1 on an agent phase. It gives you 2 persuasion, and if you have the Bene Gesserit Alliance, you get to move down a tracker 2 positions for a victory point. That's scary, deadly, amazing. For Humanity could be very good. It's just very... I really wish I could have got that CHOAM Directorship now, because I would be able to utilize that card, but then my deck would be even bigger. Who knows how that would work? It does not matter. I'm going to put all my cards over here. It is the beginning now of the 5th round. I will reveal this next conflict. It's Desert Power. And at first place in this conflict in the 5th round is going to get a victory point and a water. Second place will get a water and a spice. So I would like to let everybody know that in the 5th round, Countess Ariana Thorvald and Earl Memnam Thorvald are tied at first place with 3 victory points, while I am in last place with only 1 victory point. But I am starting to get this thing going. It looks like there's some hope. It's still early in this game, though games tend to end around the 7th round. I still feel like there's a lot left to do. I haven't even used my Gurney Halleck yet, for instance. Now, because it is about the halfway point, if that, I like to remind people to like and subscribe. Just click the like button. Just push that button. Help me out. I'm just a humble little tiny itty bitty baby channel. I only have like 76 or 77 subscribers. That's not even a lot of people. I'm just trying to get people to engage with the channel, and I would be looking at the live feed if there's anybody chatting at this time. I don't know. I would look at a live feed, but my computer broke, which is why I need to buy a new one, which is why I'm saving for a new one. At present time, I have about $900 saved. So I'm almost there to my $1,500 goal to get a new computer. It's just a matter of time. I'm working on it, selling stuff. I'm trying to make money, but it's just a tiny channel. But everything you can do right now to help me get some more traction would be super rad. Like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. Now let's get into this last. This is the next phase, round 5. Let's do that, shall we? I think that's a good idea. Do this dance. Let's do this dance. Yeah, I feel really good. I've been getting involved with people in the community and talking to people, and I think there's lots of fun stuff that I have to look forward to in terms of stuff I can do with other people. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with this game, and this is just the beginning. It really, truly is. There's still so much left to do. I have so many plans. Anyways, Earl is going to go next. Sorry, not Earl. Countess Ariana Thorvald is going to go next at the beginning of the 5th round. And that's that. So, secrets. She goes to secrets. This is the first time she's gone to a Bene Gesserit space. She moves that tracker up 1. Now we're going to go to Earl, who will go to Arrakeen. And he gets to put a troop in and pushes it into combat. That's 3 total troops, so 6 combat points, plus gets 1 spice for his Signet Ring ability. It's going to go to me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See what I got. Ooh, very nice. Ooh, that's right. Oh my gosh, power play. I've got the Gurney Halleck card. I've got the Fold Space. Oh, no, no, no. What do I do? What do I do? The right thing to do would be to use Gurney Halleck and draw a card right out of the gate. Go to Carthag. That's what I should do. Then I could draw a card and see what happens next. Then I have to use power play. I should be using Fold Space in all seriousness. Maybe I'll take the Mentat Space, but I do need that 5 Solari for CHOAM shares. So, it's dirty. It's really ugly. I guess I'll take Still Suits somehow. Or no, I should take This is awful. I don't want to go to wealth because if I use power play at wealth, I'd have to go to wealth again to get the alliance coin. That's awful. Okay, let's just do what I was already going to do. Let's do Gurney Halleck. Let's go to Carthag. I get to push in 3 troops. And that's going to give me 6 combat points. And I get to draw a card and an intrigue card. So let me take my intrigue card. Oh, God, I really hope I don't have to use this. And draw a card. Dagger. Wow. Not. Oh, at least I got 2 daggers. So cool. Okay. So there you have it. Nothing really happens. But I do get an additional Solari because I have a flag at Carthag too. So I actually have 6 Solari. Okay, so that's not as bad if I have to use my War Chest card. The War Chest card says use 2 Solari to get 4 combat points. And if you have 10 or more Solari, you get a victory point. So look at all the Solari I have to get these victory points. That's a lot. I'd have to go to Chome Track. I'd have to utilize the Chome Track. Golly. Let's see. Maybe that's the right move. Maybe the right move is to use the fold space and go to... No, I've got to use power play and just get rid of this card because it's never coming back again. I'll never see it again. And it would be a total waste not to use it for the free victory point. Yeah, I'm going to have to try to take still suits in all seriousness. That's the right move. I hope I can do it. Anyway, I got to stop musing. We're going to get into Agent Phase 2 now. That's the last of the House of Gaul stack, so just give me a quick second to shuffle these up. Yeah, let's take a look and see. I'm 1 away from getting the spice over on the Twi'leksu tracker, and that makes me feel good because I have 4 spice. If I can get those 2 spice, that would be enough for Hayliner down the road. And I have a lot of faction cards, so I think it's like not impossible. I could get that, and you know, get some water, hardy warriors. I've been getting involved in combat a lot, but I mean, it feels really silly to do that right now. I'm not going to lie, because he still has, or she, Countess Ariana, has her Dreadnought, and they both have 2 agents left. So, but yeah, there's still some combat spaces they could take. So, all right, here we go. Ariana will harvest spice, but there's no bonus spice. Interstellar shipping. Oh, no. Great. She actually doesn't have enough influence to... I'm pretty sure she's gone to fold space at least once. But she doesn't have enough influence with the Spacing Guild to take interstellar shipping. And that makes me happy because she would have got a lot of nice stuff out of that. She will take the space I wanted. No! Still suits. And she gets an alliance coin. Oh, man. That's awful. She gets 1 water for taking the alliance coin and a victory point. She's at 4 victory points. And she puts her Dreadnought into combat. She's at 3. Darn it. That hurts my feelings. Earl, what do you want to do in the second agent phase? Hayliner. Dude. That is so weak, man. You go to Hayliner. You're 1 away from getting the alliance coin. You're going to get 3 troops. Put them into combat. And that's going to put you at a total of 12 combat points. So there's no hope I could possibly overcome you at all. Actually, there is some hope. I'm not going to lie, there actually is. Because I forgot I still have 2 daggers on the reveal. But he really foiled my still suits plan. I needed that position to be open so I could use my power play and get the victory point. Ugh. Hmm. Hmm. Let me just quickly look at my discard pile. Yeah. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what. I might be able to use Power Play at Spacing Guild. That'll give me 3 Solari if I can get that Alliance coin if I go to Hayliner down the road. So that's a thing that could happen. I would have 3 Solari. That would help me be able to use Shome shares. So that's good. I'd get that victory point that way too. So I think that's the second most responsible thing I could do is use Power Play to go to Fold Space. So lame. But it is what it is. It's the only way. I got to use Power Play now. Bump my tracker up 2. I do get a victory point out of that and a Fold Space card. So I have really good odds now that I'm going to be able to get a Hayliner down the road because I got 2 Fold Spaces and Diplomacy still. So that's 3 good cards I could use. And Power Play doesn't go to my discard pile. What am I doing? It gets trashed. Right. So that happened. And wow, can you believe this? So let's get into the third agent phase. Countess is going to try to harvest spice, but she can't. There's no bonus spice. Instead, she's going to go to selective breeding. She pushes her tracker up 1 and gets a victory point, putting her at 5 victory points. Earl Memnon Thorvald, you were going to take Fold Space, but you can't because I have an agent there already. You try to take Fold Space again, you can't. Tech negotiation, you do have some spice. You go to tech negotiation. Oh, okay. So in the situation where there are no House Huggal tech tiles, you go to the second high, whichever one is the highest. You trash it, and you reveal what's underneath, and it just so happens to be available. If it's not available after that, you just put a negotiator in. But he does have enough, so he will spend his 5. I'll give him back. He's going to be spending 2 spice, so he gets 3 spice. Actually, he has 2 spice sitting right here. I'll just give that to the bank. He gets training drones at the beginning of every round now. He's going to get to tap that tech tile to get a troop, and I might as well just tap it now, as soon as he earned it, to give him a troop in his garrison. Disposal facilities. So because he revealed training drones, all it means is you tap the tech tile and you get the generated troop to your garrison at the start of every round. And he also does it the second he buys the tech tile. Disposal facilities, a 3 spice card that lets you trash a card when you purchase it. Reveal turn. If you have 6 or more persuasion, you may trash one of your cards in play. So that's kind of a nice way of getting rid of cards. And now it's going to go to my reveal phase. So I have 2 daggers. 1, 2. Golly, jeez. I have an experimentation, so I can put a specimen in the oxalotl tank. And what am I sitting with? 3 persuasions. Very sad. Very sad. And yeah, I'm going to nuke the Imperium row right now. And the reason why is because you never know what could come up. What if there's a thing I could buy? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know how I'm going to win this game. It doesn't look like I could win. I'm losing bad. We've got a guild chief administrator, a scout. We've got dissecting kit, another one of those, huh? And a space travel and Sardaukar quartermaster. So all the way over here, space travel is a spacing guild card that costs 3 persuasion. Let's go to spacing guild spaces and draw a card on an agent phase. Gives you 2 persuasion on a reveal. Dissecting kit costs 2 persuasion. Lets you graft onto another card. Lets you go to green and blue spaces, and you can trash the other grafted card to put a specimen in the oxalotl tank. You get 1 persuasion, and if you have 1 genetic marker, you move your Twi'lexu tracker forward 1 space. Sardaukar Quartermaster is an Emperor card that costs 2 persuasion. It lets you go to green and blue spaces, and if it's grafted, you generate a troop to your garrison, and you get to draw a card. Gives you 1 persuasion and 2 combat points on the reveal. Scout is a 1 persuasion card that lets you go to blue and yellow spaces. Does nothing for you on an agent phase, but if you reveal it, you get 1 persuasion, 1 combat point. Retreat up to 2 of your troops. Guild Chief Administrator for 4 persuasion. It's a Spacing Guild card. It lets you go to Spacing Guild, blue and yellow spaces. And if you discard a card, you can trash a card. It gives you 1 persuasion and a Chome Tracker movement however you please. And all this could be yours if the price is right. All this and more could be yours if the price is right. This combat, everybody's involved. Yeah, do I want to attempt to tie and get a water and a spice? I would have to use my war chest card. I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. Let me just look at this. No, it's just not worth it. I don't think it is. So, Ariana Thorvald, what do you want to do? Well, what did I? There was nothing I wanted to buy. There's nothing I want to buy. I only have 3 persuasion anyway, and there's nothing I wanted to buy. But I was hoping that maybe there would be something that could be cool. Doesn't matter. Ariana, what do you want to do? You want to increase your strength by 2 points. 1, 2. That doesn't do anything for you. Earl Memnon Thorvald. If you win this, you also get a water, and it's going to give you a victory point. So that's going to give you 2 victory points. So maybe I need to tie with him. It's impossible to tie with him now. He just took the victory. So even if I did use my war chest, it wouldn't matter. He'd beat me by 1 point. So with that said, Earl takes the win. He gets a victory point and a water, and then he cashes in his water for another victory point. So he is sitting now at 5 victory points in first place, tied for first place. And let's see here. On the other hand, I get 1 water and 1 spice. So I've got 5 spice now and no water. Great. Now I can go to Hardy Warriors. Yep. Yes, indeed. That's a thing that happened, and that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to put the first player tracker down to Earl Memnon Thorvald. The winnings have been resolved, so all the desert spaces are going to generate spice. Did I give myself a Solari for having that flag there? I don't know if I did. I'm just going to have to eat it. If I didn't remember to give myself Solari, that's my own fault. All right. And so the Dreadnought goes to the Imperial Basin. We return all these troops. We put the troops back to the respective supplies right here. I put the agent thing back here. Persuasion back there. Conflict. This is the 6th round. It's Terrible Purpose. You get a victory point and trash card for first place, and second place gets a water and a spice. Jeez. And we're going to roll the Imperium Road dice. 6 and 2, so Dissecting Kit is gone. We reveal Planned Coupling. That's another one of those cards. Planned Coupling is a 3 persuasion card. It's a Bene Gesserit card that you graft and go to Bene Gesserit spaces. You can draw a card on an agent phase and get 1 persuasion on a reveal. That's the 2nd time that card has shown itself. So we've had 2 cards repeat itself. I will just let everybody know, getting into this, that I should have told everybody where the combat trackers were for the beginning of the combat last round, so I apologize I didn't, but it's not too late to let everybody know that going into the 6th round, Earl Memnon Thorvald and Ariana Thorvald are tied for first place with 5 victory points, while I am way in the dust with only 2 victory points. So what do I want to do getting into this next round? I'm going to draw cards and see. Got to shuffle up my discard pile. I need to find a way to get some Solari, in all seriousness. If I can get a lot of Solari, if I can get 1 Chome, I can go to Interstellar Shipping and just move my Chome tracker up and down and get enough to cash in my Chome shares, and that'd be, yeah. Yep, I would have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I need 17 Solari in order to get both of these victory points out of here. So that's a good start, but I could still 14, 15, 16 for wealth. I gotta go back to wealth, or I could go to Conspire for 5. Don't know. then I could, I don't know, Conspire is such a bad force spice. I just don't like that, especially since we're going into the 6th round. I need all the spice I can get for Hayliner. So it's just not really worth it. And besides, what are you going to do, you know? One, two, three. Here we go. Okay, I've got Dagger, Signet Ring, Experimentation, Reconnaissance, and a Diplomacy. Oh, right, of course, duh. When I go to Hayliner, I'm going to be able to get 3 Solari. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So, okay, I would have 9, 10, I'm sorry, 8, 9, plus 5 is 14, 15, 16, 17 right there. So there you have it. There you have it. What am I worried about? I could still take wealth. I don't have to worry about that. Okay. So the thing to do is what? I do have Hardy Warriors I could do. Do I want to try to win this combat? I do feel like it's wide open. Of course, I've got to... Gosh, I'm so stupid. I've got to pay attention. I'm getting really far ahead of myself, and it's not paying off. I got to stop doing that. Putting all the agents back. And Earl is going to tap his tech tile and generate a troop to his garrison. He gets to start us off. What does he want to do? He's going to go to Carthag, and he's going to give me a Solari. Haha! There's one more Solari I don't have to worry about. He is going to generate a troop and push everything he's got into this combat, putting him at 6 combat points. He moves his Twi'lexu tracker forward 1, and he gets rid of Subject X-137, and he reveals the Face Dancer. Golly, look at that. Oh, no, that was Face Dancer Initiate. Face Dancer costs 2 specimen. It's an Emperor, Spacing Guild, and Fremen card. It's a grafting card that lets you go to Emperor, Spacing Guild, and Fremen, and you get to draw a card. You get 1 persuasion on the reveal. So now it is my turn. I don't know what I want to do. I got to think this through. So let's think this through. I'm trying to get these 2 victory points. I need to get enough spice for the next round. I need to... Yeah. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 persuasion right now at the start of this round. Using my signet ring is of no use to me anymore. Really. Diplomacy needs to get used. But for what? And for where? I could pretty much go anywhere and get a victory point. I feel like the right thing to do is to... Gosh, these guys are just going to run away with the victory. They're so far ahead of me. Keeping in mind that I'm probably going to end up getting 2 victory points. It's only at 4, so I've got to come up with victory points. I'm 1 away from the Twi'lexu tracker. I'm not terribly concerned about that. That's my 2 spice right over there. So I don't have to worry about spice. If I use my experimentation card, that's my spice right there. Yeah, so maybe the move I should be doing is I could... I feel so stupid. The move to do is to... Why am I having so much trouble with this? The move is to... Okay, the smart move is to use experimentation, go to interstellar shipping. Use it to go up one, down one, get Solari, and get that victory point taken away. Take the 2 victory points. That'd be good. That's fine. And then use my diplomacy to go to either wealth for 2 Solari, but keeping in mind I have Web of Power. Web of Power said what? If I have 2 victory points with any one of these places, I get stuff. I don't have 2 victory points anywhere except for Spacing Guild, so using it for an agent phase is pretty useless. It does let you move a faction tracker on a reveal, so I don't need to go to Emperor space. I should go to Secrets, because that's the last time I have this opportunity to get that victory point. Yes, that's the safer bet. So because it is my first agent phase, I'll use experimentation, go to interstellar shipping, push this up 1, bring it down 1. Then I can get 9 Solari. I'm sorry, 8 Solari. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot of Solari. And right now, I'm just going to just do this and get it out of the way. Spend 5, 6, 7 Solari and use my Choma Shares card now, spending 7 Solari to get a victory point. Just doing it to get it out of the way. One less thing to worry about. Now 5, I'm 2 Solari away from being able to use War Chest at the end of the game. And I need to use my researcher because I used experimentation. I push my researcher tracker up 1, add a specimen to the Oxalotl tank on my reveal turn, spend those, get that victory point, get 2 spice. So that's good. That's good. And this turn I will have been able to get, I mean, I gotta hope that nobody gets secrets, but we'll have been able to get whatchamacallit, 3 victory points out of this round. So that's quite good. All right, this is starting to get a little bit long of the tooth. Let's move forward now. Ariana Thorvald, you will take Fold Space, and you're going to get a victory point out of that. That's your second movement, so you're at 6 victory points, and that's all you do. Now we're going to go to Earl, who will harvest spice, and if you could push troops in, you would, but you're going to take 4 spice. Oh no. So hold on a second. Let's just keep this right here for the time being. I'm sitting with 5 spice. I will take 5 spice away and exchange it for a 5 spice token. And I'm going to give Earl 4 spice. There you go. He's got 9 spice total. And it goes to my second agent phase, and Secrets is still wide open, so I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to use Diplomacy, take Secrets. I push my tracker up 1, get a victory point, putting me at 4. I get an Intrigue card. I do have a seat on High Council, and I don't know if I need 2 spice right now, but I'm getting it whether I like it or not. So that's happening. 2 spice. So good, good, good. I have a seat on High Council. All right, so wonderful. And I'm sitting with 4 persuasion, I guess. Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. That's it. So we're going to go to, this is the second agent phase. I feel silly now. Countess will go to the research station. Oh, no. Okay, actually, this is good. This is good. It's not good. I hate this. I hate it. I really do. But I am just going to say that I'm really glad I got Counselor's Dispensation because I now have 7 spice. And because she just went to research station, she pushes her Twilaxu tracker forward 2. She takes this spice. So I thought I was going to get it. Whoops, I just gave that to the Earl. She's getting it, and she's getting a victory point. Oh my god, this game's going to end, and she's going to win. If she had troops, she would push him in, but she doesn't. So we're going to go to the third agent phase now, and Earl is going to take his first Dreadnought all the way down over here. He has enough spice to buy a tech tile, but none of these are House Hagal tech tiles, so that gets trashed because it's the tallest. He does have enough for this, and oh my god, this is terrible. This is terrible. He's going to spend 5 spice. He's going to generate 4 troops into his garrison. That's deadly, terrible, awful, because he just bought invasion ships. That stinks, because now I feel like this is not going to be as easy of a win in the next round as I expected. And it's going to go to my reveal phase after that. He did not put his Dreadnought in, so he also gets a Dreadnought out of that. Oh my god, that's so deadly. Look at him now. Jeez. And so here we go. Tactile Artillery is a 1 spice tactile, and on your reveal turn, you get 1 combat for each revealed card that provides 1 or more combat this turn. And I have nothing to contribute, so this is going to be Earl's win out of the reveal. I'm not revealing anything. Right, so let's get into the third agent phase for Ariana, who cannot take Carthag, but will take Arrakeen. She generates a troop, pushes it into the combat, and utilizes her Signet Ring ability. She has 2 waters now. She's 1 away from a victory point there. She's at 2 combat points moving into this combat. And so now we're going to get into the combat phase where, oh my goodness, Earl Memnon Thorvald is sitting with only 6 combat points and 3 troops in, and Countess Ariana is sitting with 2 combat points with 1 troop in. So, Earl, what do you want to do? I think you want to push up 3 points. 1, 2, 3. That's going to put you at 9. Ariana, 3 points. 1, 2, 3. That puts you at 5. And Earl wins this combat. And when he wins a combat, he gets a water because he has that tech tile over there that says that. So he got himself a water, and he gets a victory point, putting him from 5 to 6. Ariana gets a water and a spice, and she gets a victory point. This is just dead. This is terrible. This is terrible. I don't see how I'm going to win. She's spending 3 waters. She goes from 7 to 8. How am I supposed to overcome this, you guys? How am I supposed to overcome this? The victory has been decided. So real quick, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give Ariana a 5 spicer and take some spice over here. Yeah, gosh. So spice has to go onto the board. Hagabazin, you get a spice. Oh, on my reveal turn, I forgot. I did get 1 more victory point because I'm supposed to spend the specimen to push my tracker forward 1, so I do get a victory point. So it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. I put the spice out, remove all these trackers back, put these troops over here, put that troop over there. Earl is deadly as ever. And going into the 7th round, Ariana is in first place with 8 victory points. Earl is in second with 6, and I'm in last with 5, and I have a lot of victory points to make up in order to win. I don't know how I'm going to do it. We just have to cross our fingers. Miracles can happen. I've seen it happen in this game. It's not impossible to get 5 victory points in a round. I just don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's not impossible. I just don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's not impossible. I've got to keep saying that. I do get to start this next round at least. And here you go. We got 10. I'm sorry. Battle for Arrakeen gives you 2 victory points for first place and a flag at Arrakeen. Darn it, I wish this was Battle for Carthag because I'd get a defensive bonus. And second place gets an intrigue card, 2 spice, or 3 Solari. You get to choose 2 of those options. And I would give them whatever gives them a victory point soonest. Is how I roll. Is how I tend to roll. And I get to go first. So let me just draw my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what I got. Oh, this is just devastating. This is just devastating. I need Hayliner. Ugh. At least I got Web of Power, so I could push forward my Emperor track. That's 1 victory point. I've got to use Gurney Halleck and go to Arrakeen, draw a card, and hope it's Hayliner. Here we go. Going to Arrakeen, I draw 2 cards. 1, and there you go. There's my Hayliner. Nice. I'm lucky, but I get 3 troops. 1, 2, 3. I push them into the combat, and I'm at 6 combat points. That's lucky. That's lucky. I've got fold space. Whoosh. And so with that, I'll get, okay, so things are happening. We'll have to see how this resolves. I'll put Web of Power in the back of my hand. Fold space will be used. Just please, you're getting close to the end of the stack, and I really got to hope Hayliner doesn't come up. And it's not coming up for this guy, at least. Ariana Thorvald, you are going to do interstellar shipping. That sucks because you go up 1 and then down. You're going to get 1 Solari because you're supposed to get 8 Solari, but you're going to spend 7 of it on a victory point, so you're getting 1. So there's your victory point. Also, you get 2 troops added to your garrison, and you get to move a faction tracker up 1. I'll give it to you on the Emperor track. That is going to end the game for you. And wow, amazing. Ariana is at 10 victory points. Now I have to come up with 5 victory points. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just don't see how it's going to be possible. I'm at, let's see here. Let me look at I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. Wait. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with High Council. So, and I get to draw a card with fold space. So it's not impossible that I could. Let me see here. I've got 1 convincing argument, and I've got let me look at my discard pile here. I don't have my other fold space or my other convincing argument. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. If I draw another fold space, I'll be totally wrecked. But I could get a Spice Must Flow if I have enough persuasion. Oh, God, it all comes down to this. Oh, sorry. Please don't draw Hayliner. He goes to Still Suits. That's pretty bad still. This is the first time he's moving his Fremen tracker, but he puts in a Dreadnought and a troop here, so that's going to give him 5 combat points. And now it's going to go to my second agent phase where I use my fold space. I go to Hayliner. I spend 6 spice. I push my tracker up 1. I get the Alliance coin. That's a victory point and 3 Solari. 3. Oh, I'll just take back 2 and give myself a 5-er. And draw a card. It's convincing argument. So this is my fold space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I have enough for a Spice Must Flow. There's a chance I could win this game somehow. I mean, it's going to be tough. But anyways, I get 2 waters. And 5 troops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the last round, so I'm pushing everything I've got in. That's 16 combat points. You know, it's just got to be done. Plus, I've got a dagger and Arrakis Recruiter. All right, so let's get over to Countess, who is winning this game, unless I can do something about it. She cannot take Arrakeen, but she can go to Conspire, but that does absolutely nothing for her except get her 2 troops to her garrison and move her tracker up 1 over on the Emperor track. Let's hope that she doesn't get to 11 victory points, because I don't know if I can come up with that. And now we're going to go to Earl Memnon Thorvald, who, by the way, taps his Tactile, generates another troop into his garrison. I forgot to do that. He goes to Haga Bazin. He gets himself 4 spice, and he pushes in 2 troops to this conflict, moving him from 7 to 9. And by the way, fold space goes back to fold space. And it's my reveal turn where I have I get 2 more combat points. 1, 2. I have a specimen to add to the axolotl tank, not that it will do me any good. And I get to move Web of Power, which I'm going to move up my Emperor track. That's a victory point, putting me at 7. And I can spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8, 9. I buy Spice Must Flow. That's a victory point, putting me at 8. This is wonderful for me. I could win this game. I hope it doesn't end in it. Oh my God, actually, it's terrible. If the game ends in a tie, I lose to Ariana because she's got a mountain of spice. And she has memo quarters. Let's see if she has enough. She doesn't have 3 or more influence. No, wait. Nope, she doesn't. She only has 3 influence on 2 tracks, so she doesn't get the memo quarters endgame victory point, but I need to come up with an additional victory point somehow. But where's it going to come from? That's just sad. Tisk, tisk. Oh! War chest! Oh! I'm so happy! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I'm probably going to win. I really, really have to hope Ariana doesn't get an 11th victory point. Please don't go and get another victory point. She does Hardy Warriors. So that does nothing for her victory point wise, but she does get to push in 2 plus 2 troops. That's a total of 8 combat points. And now this is the 3rd agent phase. Earl, what do you want to do? Selective breeding. Here you go. You don't do anything. So now we go to the combat phase. And I'm so happy right now. I'm going to win. Yay! Ha-ha! Going into the 7th round of this game, I have 18 combat points with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total troops in the conflict. But don't forget, I reveal the dagger and an Arrakis recruiter. So with, that's the reason why I'm at such a high combat ratio. And my opponent, Earl Memnon Thorvald, is at 9 combat points, and Ariana is at 8, and she has 4. Earl is at, she has 4 troops, and Earl is at 9 combat points with a dreadnought and 3 troops. So it went from my turn, it's going to go to Ariana's turn. She blanks out. Earl blanks out. Wow, 2 blanks in a row. So I take the victory. That's going to be 1 and 2 combat points, putting me at 10. I get to put a flag at Arrakeen. And get this, because it is now the official, second place is Ariana. So, no, second place is Earl. So I'm glad he gets second place victory because he's going to get an intrigue card and he's going to spend 3 intrigue cards for a victory point. Moving him to 7. And there's nothing else for him. So I'll just give him 2 spice since it doesn't matter. I'll just pop them over here. So the victories have been resolved. Did maybe, I feel stupid. Is this Dreadnought where it's supposed to be? I really feel dumb. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's the end of the game. I cash in 10 Solari for a victory point, and that puts me at 11 victory points. And it doesn't matter. I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. Okay, so even if, let's say Ariana won this instead, like let's say she won second place, and let's say she had, instead of one of these troops, it was a dreadnought. So she'd go back down, but then she'd go up 1, 2, 3. She'd be tied for Thorvald instead. So she'd have 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So she would have just tied with Thorvald, where nobody would have. She would have got a 2 Solari. So she only has 3 Solari right now. 2 more Solari isn't enough for a victory point, and she would have got an entry card. She has no entry card. So Thorvald still would have got his. It all would have came out in the same in the wash, even if she had that Dreadnought and that Imperial Basin isn't where it belongs. I'm just trying to make sure I've got all my bases covered. But as it stands, I've done everything correctly, and I have won this game, and I feel really good about it. The one thing I wish I could do different is I was a little scatterbrained tonight. I wasn't paying close attention. I made a lot of stupid little mistakes with my trackers, and things got away from me. I need to do better moving ahead with this game, doing game 21. That said, I'm really happy with myself, so I'm going to take my handy dandy feathered pen and mark myself for a victory that's 10 wins to 9 losses at Kwisatz Haderach level difficulty. Game 20 is a total success. I'm really happy with that. And I guess with that said, I bid you all adieu. Thank you so much for watching the show with me. And, remember to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye for now. Take care, everyone.